Okay. Sweet. You're wearing the right colors. Way to be team player.
I don't even know who my husband Yeah. Yeah, I think that was good. That did not really good. The two.
Danielle, what?
I want it to be lower.
I know, I'm just using TV, that's the place today. You do not match. I told her not to do it ever again. Do I need a copy for you, or you just?
I just have 15 of them.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think there'll be a lot more.
You never know,
Okay.
but I didn't know, so just yell at me, I guess.
Okay, just like one. Yeah.
Because I won't be able to be here today. Your team's not coming. Definitely gonna get more, Greek's very close today. Couldn't get any water.
Wow.
Technically, they didn't have water yesterday, but it's not a coaster that.
No.
Right, you drive by, the whole road, and the signs still there. Yeah, if you're at the whole road, and the signs still there, so. You're gonna.
Kim's here.
Right, one of us week and then zero.
I didn't do the wheelie thing today, since we only had 5.
What?
I said I didn't do the wheelie thing today, so we only had 5. I'm gonna make
I'm
a,
time anyway.
yeah, I'm gonna make a point later.
Oh, birthday. Different birthday.
Was today your birthday?
Great. I was. When we've been out there.
No, we used to go to Indigo, they would give you the month of your, you're there on the month of your birthday.
I went to his house, I owned him 70.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't lost track.
I'm all right. So I owned, I didn't know I owned any.
Yeah, my mother passed away at Christmas Eve, so I've just been a little disconnected and then, but I'm doing great now, so we're gonna,
They're not gonna make.
but this weekend's gonna be very cold and I've got a bunch of appointments, but yeah, no, we gotta, if you wanna do some open houses, yeah.
Well, I wonder.
Oh, oh, yeah.
Another one right there.
So not this weekend and the following weekend. That sounds good.
So I got one more guy that's thinking about
They had this campground.
Okay.
Indigo now.
Oh my God.
And
One
now
of those
it has
deals
campground,
where.
so many.
Yeah.
Great.
I was just thinking, I remember.
But it was one of them, it's not for, you know,
Yeah.
close to when you have to do it themselves.
So, we don't go through the experience, right? They all haven't been.
Champion.
Yeah.
Eventually doing the inside.
Well,
Yeah, I will say that. But they don't really recognize that house. I feel like you got a house.
Well.
My spark light. You guys also starting. I was teasing her.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm sure it's fine. You did it, right?
Yeah.
So,
But That doesn't mean nothing. You didn't like it
I
first.
just hear the devil talking about it. I'll run it several times. And I mean, it has been.
I know you have been.
Yeah.
The realtor school box. A little too heavy, so put it on wheels. Maybe it'll spark your interest. It was really funny because I was.
Well, in that house.
Go through all these stuff.
Really like something to go on. Space without the line.
So is that your license?
That's my real.
In the winter. It's
Turn on today.
great.
When I first got started, I had a word for that.
I'm almost nervous.
So glad I listened. It was one of my first jobs after the kid, and it was ridiculous.
There's my display. Oh, really? Yeah. So you're gonna be on good about it. I listed everything. And I have,
That's the fun part about it. Everyone's got their.
and so.
You're all hired about. The last meeting I was at, I don't remember what they.
It's in the offer. Right, very.
If somebody finds something I didn't call out, a third party.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are your places? This looks more than 5 people, just saying. That's great.
I went out. Hey, Miranda.
You didn't say to do lunch.
Drive. Which side?
Oh, I can help.
Somebody come up here and drive the slides for me.
Yeah.
I can't drive the slides and talk at the same time.
You need a clicker.
I'll help you with
We
that.
have a clicker. I can't do the clicker thing. As you recall, I was the one.
You doing it?
Oh, you're doing it? Go for it.
I can click for you.
So I don't know where the clicker is.
I can click for you.
But we have a volunteer, so we love that.
It's paid volunteer,
Run volunteer.
paid volunteer.
Paid?
Yeah.
Yeah, you let me know when you have questions, I'll be happy to answer.
What do I do?
Hey, that was a pretty good comeback.
You're pretty quick today still. I'm impressed.
Yeah, the Advil had kind of kicked
I
in.
think so.
So, just so you guys know, I'm not on my A game today, so that's why there's no live music because I can't get up there and dance. It'll hurt too much. So I'm going to the doctor at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning to see what the problem is. So can you click me?
I don't know what I'm doing. How do I click? Oh, just click.
Oh, look, there you go. Okay. You guys know how this is, any bucket fills. Anybody do anything absolutely wonderful for you that you would like to recognize? That you have gratitude for? That you are blessed by?
That my husband hasn't killed me yet.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's always a good thing. Kim, I don't have enough money to bail you out. Just so you know.
I will fill Deb's bucket every contract compliance meeting. She puts up, and I just want to say thank you.
Aw.
Yeah, Deb's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So with all the form changes and everything,
There's a lot.
there's been a lot, so you guys have had to soak in a lot. Are you guys getting used to it?
Yes.
Are you feeling more comfortable with the new forms and the way we write offers and listings and? It's just paperwork, that's what Heather says, it's just paperwork. I will make a request real quick. And some of you are doing much better and I commend you for it. But if you have a contract, don't forget, you're supposed to have your paperwork into us by 3 days. And it would be really, really awesome. I'm just gonna remind you that you go ahead and do your commission so that we know what closings are coming up. So we had a little misunderstanding over at the Lake of the Ozarks. Somebody rolled over on the 1st of December, didn't bother to put any of their paperwork into the system nor load a commission. The closing was on the 28th of November. And we were not aware that there was even a closing. They didn't load anything till the 2nd of December. So we closed out the month and they had to pay company dollar because we didn't know, we didn't have a check, we didn't have anything. That's not this office. We're just saying. But just reminding you so that we know that you have a closing, if you would go ahead and upload the paperwork. We actually have a spreadsheet that Daphne does. So if you upload the paperwork, but you don't do your commission, at least we're aware that you have a closing coming up. Okay, and we can start asking about it. So I'm gonna ask you guys to do that. Any other bucket fills?
I have a bucket fill for Monica. You've been nothing but a great help and holding my hand through everything and listening to all my shenanigans.
And I'll give you a bucket fill while I'm at it.
Oh, okay.
Katie brought me an R2 recruit this week, so we had that meeting, so that was like awesome. An R2, a capper. So we had a meeting with the capper on Monday morning. So if you guys know anybody that is thinking about joining KW or thinking about moving offices, which happens a lot this time of year, please send them my way. You know, once I get in front of them, or not. Anybody else? Oh, I kind of subdued everybody, I'm sorry. Next, please. Okay, say it with me.
To build.
Careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, legacies worth leaving.
It's a new year.
And of course, we want to be the real estate company of choice for agents and their customers.
We are.
We know that real estate is a local business, based on who you know and how you do it. So we want to support you in every way that we can. And we know you guys are the front lines out there. It's not us, it's you guys. God Family Business, in that order. Yeah, we got lots of birthdays in January. What was going on in March? Ashley Ammerman, Terry Puckett, Susan Ledoux, Laura Mather, Cheryl Porter, Dustra Pritchett, Rod McGee, Jimmy Barton, Connie Hayworth, Jennifer Moore, Anita Pugh, Brian Christian is on the phone or on Zoom. Happy birthday, Brian.
Happy birthday, Brian.
Deanna Vernon is over here. Danielle's back there. Happy birthday. Rhonda Lee and Daryl Moore. Happy birthday to all of them. And anniversaries, Kim Hagen's been here 15 years.
Wow.
She's starting to catch up with me. Dennis Wood, Nellie Wood, Tina Stone, Mindy Elliott, Rhonda Lee. Nikki's been here 11. I saw her back there. Congratulations. Dan Boone's been here 11. Joel Porsche, Jennifer Moore, Cindy France, Christine Fisher. I can't see how many years, but Chad Cassidy, Megan Bailey, Nicholas. Thank you. And Jackie Sackett. Now Jackie has actually been with KW longer than that. She's only been in this office for a year. And then we got some newcomers, Jeff Taylor, Calandra, she actually goes by Callie. Katie. Oh, no, Katie's on here. I don't know why I did that, sorry. And Ann is here. There you go. So we got some new faces that came in December. Welcome. We of course had some cappers, Gary Winans, John Lee, and Heather Tinkers.
Yes, my first one.
Okay, Market Center numbers. So this is what we did for the month of December. Closed units, we were up 38%. Oh my God, month over month. Was December, did y'all have a good Christmas?
Yes.
Those numbers say that we had a good Christmas. We are we are up 4.3% year to date, closed volume up 49%, 49.6% month over month, up 8.4% year to date, listings taken down 34.3% month over month. We didn't take a lot of listings last month. We were kind of down in listings. Up 26% year to date. Listings taken volume down 4.6 month over month, which tells me the volume is still there. We are up 23.1% year to date. Listings sold, up 39.5% month over month, 0% year to date. Volume up 68.5% month over month, up 13.4% year to date. Contracts written up 25.9% month over month, up 2.9% year to date. Contracts written volume up 28.2% month over month and 2.3% year to date. Our gross commission income, you guys can't see it down here, was up 26.6% month over month. And we were up 0.5% year to date. So those are pretty good numbers, actually. So especially if you look at the year to date and the month over month from December of last year, we had a good month last month. I guess I need to get more energy.
Did we have a
Feel your pain.
bad month a year ago? Or
I'm gonna say based on those numbers that it was down. And I am seeing, and tell me if you guys agree with this. It seems like everybody is kind of coming off the bench. And now we got, you know, the election's over, the holidays are over. And everybody's feeling optimistic about what's going on.
We have 5 more days.
We have 5 more days. So people are feeling optimistic about what's going to happen in the next 12 months, 24 months. And so they are starting to move forward. Do remember that a lot of the things that we do, a lot of the closings that we have are cash. And cash does not care about interest rates, so do keep that in mind. Okay, Robin, oh, what's new? The 16th, I have Ignite tomorrow. We're gonna talk about sellers, CMAs, and selling our listings. The office will be closed on Monday, just so you know that. I think all the other companies are closed also. Then we have Ignite on the 21st, Ignite on the 22nd. Gerald will be in the office on the 22nd. Ignite on the 27th. We do have the Branson Home Show coming up in February. We're gonna do exactly what we did last year. It's a sign up thing. We did get another corner booth. If you were interested in doing that, get with Jan and we'll get you signed up for the time slots. New day of the month for the sales meeting. We're gonna be moving them up 1 week. Starting in February. The reason that we're doing that is because a lot of the things that KW puts out, we are already halfway through the month before we actually do the team meeting. So you guys are missing out on some things, possible things that you could be doing. Okay, so we're gonna move them up a week, starting in February. And is there anything underneath any of that? I don't think so.
Nope.
Okay. Rob's up.
How is everybody? Speak up a little. Oh,
The energy.
oh my gosh, I almost went to sleep. It's easy for me to do. Okay. Hey, let's see, I had two things I was gonna say. Oh, one is obviously based on those numbers. You're selling land, lots, condos, other things because the home sales aren't that exciting. So we're selling a lot of other stuff that's making those numbers go up. So that's good. All right, Taney County. We can see that our inventory went down a little bit over the last 30 days, not a lot, but a little bit. But that inventory, 55 of those single family homes are over $500,000. So, pendings, were down just a little. We had a pretty big month, a month ago based on history. And then closings, we just had 20. And let's go to the next slide. Okay, there's a breakout of the percentages of under 78.5% sold less than list price. They're out of 22 sales. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that sold for 10% or more less than list price. So, and we had some of that last month also. Several are much more normal, I would say, like under $10,000, which last month it was that way. We had quite a few that were kind of in that realm. And then lists, we had 5 that sold at list price. They all sold super quick. Same day or with it. I don't know if any of them were 5 days on the market. So a little bit of that was not so much. Remember last month, I mentioned that most of the homes were under 250,000 that had sold that quick. This month, not really, probably average about 300,000. So obviously there was somebody that wanted those. Nothing over, and then we had one that didn't share a price with us. So we'll move on to the next one.
Nothing over asking price, Rob?
Pardon?
Nothing over asking
No.
price? Less, okay, wow.
Stone County. Inventory just changed just slightly. Homes under over $500,000. There's 80 of them for sale. So that's a pretty big percentage of that number. Those are
Like homes.
what I'd consider leftovers from last year. And we'll have to see what they do, but probably any of those homes you could get a pretty good discount on, be my guess. Okay, pendings, 37. Last month was 30, and then they closed 15. Not half of what we did last month. And really, December, January is a little funky depending on the year, so never know. Okay. Here's the percentages, and basically 93% sold less than full price. We had one that sold at list, and actually it was a pretty high price home, $695,000. It did sell really quick. I don't remember the days, but I think it was within a week. So, okay, on the next one. All right. Then we'll look at our days on market. Less than 30 days. 15 sold in less than 30 days. We had, we'd sold 28, so over half. Prior was 24 in Stone County. There was then over the $500,000 in Taney County this month. We sold 6. We got half of those sides. Well, not half, but we got 3, excuse me. And then in Stone County sold 4. really tells you like business is over, and we had one of those sides. So just kind of not a lot different than last month. And I'd expect inventory and things start growing in February and March. Hopefully, some homes that are not $500,000 homes, and that will have more to sell. Any questions about that at all? I have a question for everybody. I have two questions. How many here have a plan for this year already done? Show of hands, up high. Up high, not near enough. Of those that raised your hands, how many of you have a part of your plan is preparing for retirement? There's 4 of them. Cool, good job. The, what I'd recommend is that you not be like us old people, and that you start planning now for retirement. And your plan, I don't care if it's $100, you need to start doing something. Because if real estate is gonna be part of your primary income, then you've got to have a way to sustain yourself when you're ready to quit. And we all don't get to work till we're 90 because of health problems and things like that. So you've got to plan ahead, and those of us that are preparing for retirement, that becomes much more evident and with less time to do anything about it. So investment properties, buy a modest house for yourself, and then use the rest of your dream money and go buy some rentals. And then invest the money. That's all I got.
So I'm gonna touch base a little bit on the retirement thing. How many people in here on Facebook are part of the Mark King Welcome to the Cause thing? Okay.
Yes.
Very informative stuff that he goes through. Mark is all about building wealth. And since he, is no longer the president of KW, that is his marching thing right now. So, he is going all over the country talking about different ways to build wealth and that kind of stuff. If I'm able to get, Clarissa to come back in here and do a class about building wealth, how many of you would attend? Okay, I will have a conversation with her and see if I can get her in here. We are also having conversations with Mark, about coming to the Branson office, even though we're a smaller office. He is an investor in this office. We wouldn't even be sitting in this room if it wasn't for him. So we're kind of near and dear to his heart. So I'm hoping that we can get him in here, in the June timeframe to come in and do that. So I will work on those 2 things and see if we can get somebody in here, to talk to you guys about building wealth. If you have any questions about any of it, please don't hesitate to come see me. I don't work because I have to. I work because I want to. So very, very fortunate there. Okay.
Well, my wife thinks me.
Well, that's so she can keep her.
She's mean.
Stay married. And this is like, that's why I work. I'm not sure we would both survive if I was home all day. Family reunion is in Las Vegas, February 17th. It's coming up. It'll be a great training event. So if you want to go to Vegas and be able to use it as a tax deduction expenses, it's a great way to go to Vegas and also learn real estate at the same time. Gary always gets up there and he tells us about the numbers for the year. And it's very interesting. He also goes in and does projections on what he thinks is going to happen in the next 12 months. So I'm a numbers girl, so I'm all over that. I love that kind of stuff.
In the past, we've done a few of their sessions live here. Will we have that?
We will do the ones that he does, yes.
We'll be live here in the middle.
Yes, there should be live here. And we will do them. Normally they do this on a weekend and it wraps around to a Monday or Tuesday, but this year it's all during the week. Really weird, different. It is also right before, Super Bowl, right after Super Bowl. Right after, right?
The sixth.
Okay. How many Chiefs fans do I have in here? Yeah, there you go. And we're gonna win the Super Bowl and everybody's gonna be partying in Vegas.
3P.
Yeah, repeat, it's gonna be awesome. If you have questions about attending, let me know. The tickets, I believe right now are like $1,300 a ticket. Just for the ticket to go to family reunion. But we're also coming into the time where people bought tickets and they're not gonna be able to go for whatever reason. And they will start coming up on the Facebook pages. So if you are interested in attending, please let me know and we will get you figured out. So, Toby, you got something you wanna contribute, not for family reunion, but on the interest rate mortgage side?
Sure. So, with the inflation numbers and employment numbers that came out last week, the Fed's now just probably projecting a one interest rate decrease this year. Last year, we were looking at 3 or 4. So rates probably aren't gonna, as of right now, go down much, if any, than where they are right now. But not to worry, because we have still have lots of products and ways that we can get people into housing. We still have the lender sponsored 2-1 buy down that we can do for people. And then us, all of you know, we do VA loans and any other, just about it, and we can get just about anybody approved if we have to. Even we had a deal that we were working on where somebody was right on the limit with where their credit score was. And we can send it into our credit review. People have them look at it and they can say, oh, if they pay this down, do this, do that, we can increase their credit scores and then we can get them approved. And I just got a notification this morning that we're getting that person approved now, so we can get them along. So, if you have anybody right there on the bubble you're not sure about, send them to us, at least we can give it a shot and try to get some approved. So. Other than that, also I'll jump on the retirement planning. If anybody has any questions or anything on that, let me know as well. That's what I've done for the last 17 years was investments in retirement planning. So I'll be happy to answer any questions if they have that too. So any questions for me?
Rates today on a conventional 20% down, good credit.
You're looking between 6 and 9%.
She's like,
But there's options we can do, and that rate can always be brought down to a lower rate. So I'm working on one right now, we're trying to get down 5.99. Again, they have some credit things they've got to take to, and they've got to pay it. So I mean, it's not cheap to get it down to that 5.99, they're going to pay for it, so I'm very reliable. So,
awesome.
okay, thank you.
They made some changes on your website, Applets. I put this up here for FYI stuff. You can now change your background of your homepage. You can also adjust your headline title and filter out your featured properties. So if you guys are into your website and everything like that, go take a look at it and play with it a little bit. I will tell you that we have a new person starting tomorrow. Her name is Nisa. She will be sitting up at the front desk. Stephanie and Jan they need help. Everybody's shaking their head at me. We know it. We went as long as we possibly could and the girls are about to go crazy.
Box so we can scan the code? Maybe, no?
The chat box. I don't think we can.
Can you pick it up? There you go.
Oh,
There you go. Thank you.
And you might need to move the bottom one too. There we go. Now you can do the QR code. So she is starting tomorrow. She'll be up at the front desk. She will be taking care of all onboarding, licensing and all of that good stuff. We're also gonna get her into command. And have her learn the website information, the campaign information campaigns and also designs within command. So please welcome her tomorrow, say hi. open arms, big hug. I think you got, she has sparkle. So
Name again?
Lisa. Yep, so she starts tomorrow. I'm super excited about that. And do not call us. Remember, do not call. What do we do one about? Yeah. So make sure that you check that do not call list before you start cold calling or anything like that. I will say the best way to get in touch with people or to the people that you want to contact is gonna be your sphere of influence. They're not gonna turn you in. So.
So this is, just for clarification, that's for cold calls only, right? If I have a reason to call because I wanna ask them about a property they own, that, that does not apply, or does it?
That could be a slippery slope.
Like I've got a buyer who says, hey, can you contact that owner because I'd be interested in that property if they're willing to sell?
Yeah, and I would say normally what I would do is go by leave a note. So, and then have them call you.
Yeah, I would say that call would be, that would
That's
be
a-
infringing if they were.
Okay.
on this.
That can be a slippery slope.
Not that anyone calling us cares, that ours.
Right. 35 times a day.
Yeah, so normally in circumstances, I would usually go by the house, knock on the door, write a note.
Okay.
Now if I have their email address, that's a whole different ballgame. But to actually pick up the phone and call them without checking that do not call us, be very careful.
Okay.
We don't want anybody to get $500,000 fines. Okay.
Is that what you get? Is it 500,000? Well, what is the penalty if you call somebody on the do not call it?
It's 500,000.
Is it
So what about the
500,000?
people that spam you? When are they gonna pay? It just seems so one-sided with us real estate agents, you know,
Are you on the?
it's against us.
I get it. Okay, so Carolyn Boss requested to be able to come in here and talk to you guys about a realtor toolkit. What are those things that you should have in your car?
Got it next.
And she's actually got a toolkit.
Right, so it's a really great thing happening on the ALC and the culture committee, so just kind of keep connected this year. Make a goal for yourself and everyone online as well. Just stay connected because that's gonna help you. You're gonna pick up something that's gonna be the key or the bridge to the next thing that you need. And something that makes you more efficient, something that makes you, give you more personal time, something to help you make your, experience grow and get better and create more income for you. So what I wanted to do, when I first started, I said, what was the things that we needed? So I just want to start with the basics, because each month I want to talk about something that's going to help you in real time, in your farm area, in your area of expertise. All right, so, and then we've got, and just to give you a plug on the ALC, we've got fundraisers coming up this year. We've got ways to get connected. So just kind of stay in tune with those calendars, put them on your calendar, and volunteer, because there's gonna be lots of opportunities for you to kind of get connected with the community even more. All right, so an agent toolbox. When you think about agent toolbox, what do you think? Give me some ideas. Huh?
The disclosure.
Okay, well, right, you could have a paperwork toolbox, which we have, and we'll talk about that. What else?
Tape measure.
Okay, so everyone's got a tape measure in their car? Okay. All right, so today I'm gonna show you what I've got, and at one time or another, and I've been doing this a little over 5 years. I'm still basically new on some respects, but this is what I have. And sometimes it's a big bucket and sometimes it's this soft one. So this is a trunk organizer, and if you got a lot of stuff, you'll want that. And then you can kind of you can have a small one or a big one, but I'm telling you, if you're out showing homes, if you're getting listings, won't you agree with me? You're gonna need something along the way, and you're gonna be like, oh man, if you're gonna be the information broker that you wanna be, you gotta make sure that you have it on your person. So, this is just some ideas to get you thinking about getting ready for making your GCI numbers this year and making your closing goal each month that you want to have on closing. And if you're looking prepared and you are prepared, that just gives you even more confidence. That you're like, hey, I've got that. Hey, I've got that. So we're gonna dive into that. I made a little list for you, but certainly you can, you know, add things or subtract them as you like. So this is my toolbox, and in it, I've got all kinds of things. So always have lock boxes on you. We've got the ones that you code in on with your with the Supra, and then I have some non-Supra ones because sometimes I'm in an area where the Supra didn't work. So if you've ever been on a showing and you're like, you're trying to get the house listed and you're like, it's vacant. There is absolutely no plugs that I can plug this very important lamp into or things like that. So I always have, you know, a, one of these things, help me out, wow. Extension cord. This comes in very handy because sometimes where you're talking with your client, you need some extra connectivity. So I have that. I also have some Lysol. I think it's very handy. You don't know the condition of these properties, do you, Nikki? You don't know, during COVID, we all carried all kinds of things with us to, you know, make sure it's germ-free. So keep the Lysol. You could also have the handy wipes in your car. These are very important. You can get them in bulk at Sam's Club. And they're just so good, and you can wipe down light switches with them, or the doorknobs, or your car, like your steering wheel. And you should be cleaning your car a lot, because where you're shaking hands with people, you're knocking on doors, you're dealing with paperwork, you're picking up pens, all these places have germs on them. So I always keep these in the car, very handy, and then don't forget to wipe off your steering wheel, because I think and it's practical. It's true, especially if we're trying to stay healthy and not catch any germs that anybody else might have this year. All right, umbrella. Keep an umbrella. We haven't had a ton of rain, but man, that one day we did, and I was just soaked the whole day. I was like, wow, okay. So the umbrella was in the car, and I
I actually
was
have two, one for me and one for my client.
there you go. Get that, it works better than ponchos. I do a glass cleaner and I have a first aid kit. Now, there have been lots of times I've had to use these Band-Aids. So get a paper cut. You don't want to be bleeding on the door, because then you'll have to use your, you know, wet wipes to clean up. It's true, isn't it? Like, you could get like a splinter. Some of these decks are not, okay, the decks I've been on need a little sanding. So, you know, remind yourself that you're prepared for any situation that comes up. Always have a roll of TP. How many people have been stuck in a situation where you're glad you had that? Oh, y'all are lying. You have. You just didn't know you were. So there you go. Need that. It's very handy. Okay, another one is zip ties. I use zip ties for a lot of things. I have white ones and I have black ones. So I fix signs with them. I attach my signs, my little rider signs to, you know, like a fence or a signpost, because it won't stick in the ground. Because it keeps falling over and getting ran over. I use zip ties for a lot of things. So these are at Harbor Freight Tools. They're like $1, and you can use them for a lot of things. I also have I just picked these up over Christmas, where I had to upgrade my my screwdriver. And basically these were less than $20, and you have all these things. Help me out, Beth.
Bits.
Thank you. All the bits that go with your screwdriver. Now this is fantastic, because you could be in your listing and you notice that there's two, you know, outlet covers that need covers on them. You know, if you have them in your car, which I usually do have a couple white ones in my car, then you can easily attach it right on there and off you go. It just makes you look like you're super prepared, like you're ready. And if you don't ever come across that, then I don't know, maybe it's just me. I don't know, I tend to look for stuff like that, like how can I fix it? What can I do to make this better? How can I improve things? And so I'm kind of always looking for that too. Also, I got this cool thing at Menards, and this was this very bright light. It fits into a light bulb switch, but super bright. So, you know, it's really great to have some extra light bulbs, which I do in here. And because how many times have you listen to property, turn on that lamp and there's nothing there. They've already, you're managing the property, they don't have any light bulbs, and so it's good to have it in here. I use a lot of these. I don't really, I feel like I'm using a lot of light bulbs, so it's very good to have them. Keep your little lighters with you if you have a candle or they have a candle. Sometimes you need a little bit of fire.
Or you wanna burn the house down?
No.
You're talking about the zip ties?
Yeah.
I know the world's like very cute. True. All right, then your bug spray.
Amen.
Make sure you have that, because wherever you might be showing land and you're coming back with chiggers and these little things that stick to your pants, and you're like, how do I get those off? So I ordered this tool thing online. You ever had those little sticker burrs? There is this thing, this is called Burr Off, BRRRR off, and literally if you get those little things that never come off, this actually takes it. I know it looks offensive and ugly, but it really works. It works really well, and in the spring you will be glad you have that. What do I have up here? Oh, I always keep screws. Never know when you need one of those. Because, you know, a picture fell off the wall or something, you need to rehang it. Trash bags, very important. Because you could be helping them get the house listed and they have a bag of trash. I keep a paintbrush, I don't use that too often, but I do have it. This is something cool. These are, this is Yankee Candle. It's a whole house freshener. It is on the return vent of your home. So they last, they say 30 days, they don't, it's a solid 15 to 20, but it still is a very good thing. These cost about $3.50 on sale, maybe $6 full price. I keep a couple of those, especially if the house needs a little fresher upper. Because it's really, it smells really good. It puts on the return vent when the heat or air conditioning runs, then you have a nice smell in the house without burning a candle. All right. But I do have warmers. I use warmers a lot. So I keep, this is, and you can get them anywhere. They're just the wax that burns. And these are pretty good too. These are about 30 days and then they're done. You gotta replace them in the little, have you all used a warmer before? Okay. Would you say the 30 days is pretty good for these? Maybe a little less? Okay.
You can add essential oils to it and it'll last in the long period.
There you go. I don't do Febreze. I'm actually feel like I'm allergic to Febreze, so I don't do a lot of that. Always need bungees. You never know when you gotta take that piece of furniture and take it right on down to the Goodwill. You can put it in your car. There you go. I'm serious. You never know what you're gonna end up doing. Safety. I've got one of these lights, which I have never used. It goes on your head. Now, I will say as it gets darker, you wish you had one of these for the crawl spaces.
Yes.
But I went to the gun show this year and I bought this majorly bright light. And I don't know how many lumens this is, but it's a lot. And it also has like this thing that. Anyway, it's supposed to like put you in your eyes, blind you. Sorry about that, Jim. Sorry about that, President. But anyways, I will get used to this, but this is great for the crawl spaces. And Menards doesn't have it. You actually have to go to the shows, and these things it's $100, but it's well worth it because you need to see under there. and see what you're dealing with underneath some of these crawl spaces. Don't forget a hammer and a mallet. And I know one of Crispin's teams has like one of these things that puts a hole in the ground.
Yep.
The drivers,
Yeah. I have one.
you have one? Okay,
Where do you
That's
get them?
it's absolutely a mug.
I've got
Your
it.
sign's costume, man. Beat up,
Yes.
Yeah, I could have these.
beat on that.
Where do you get the drivers?
They're kind of custom made, but each welder can make it for you.
Oh.
Yeah, and it kind of gets the ground so that your sign goes in a lot easier, especially in Stone County. Seriously, I have a lot of issues.
No, we understand. We've had to put fences up for our goats, so it's not easy.
Yes, well, you got goats. All right, duct tape is a must. Just so you can have it. I've got some gloves here, in case I don't wanna touch anything. I actually have a radon. I bought one of these, tells me how, if there's any radon in the house, which is interesting, cause knowledge is knowledge, but I had a situation where, well, I was glad I was wondering if the radon was actually what it was really registering. So I bought my own to see if it was actually registering that high. It was, and the condo association took care of it, but very interesting. I learned a lot about radon that year, and I have it in my house, and it's kind of cool. It's, if you haven't learned about radon, you should, especially if you're selling lakefront properties. Oh, Windex. Well, I think this is the best cleaner. You could have all kinds of cleaners, but just like that movie, My Greek Wedding, you can use the Windex just about on anything. So there you go. Even on that boo-boo, but if you put it on a boo-boo on your hand, it's gonna hurt. All right, so, but no, some people, like, if you just wipe down a window before you take a picture, it is night and day, right? So think about that too, and getting your house, let's see, I know these are common sense, they're probably silly, but it all starts with what's in your toolbox. And I've got the good old fashioned ones here, but then I don't know how to read them as well. I'm gonna get better at it.
The laser one.
I do have the laser
I
one,
love those.
and I got them, they're $34. They went up in price at Harbor Freight Tools, but it is so, it's so great when you're, you wanna know what, the size, you see the little dot, that's where you're measuring to, and then, so that was 15 feet, 8 inches. So if your buyer says they've got a house or they got a couch that's, 13 feet long and an L, and they've got to find a house for that, then you're gonna be glad you have one of these on you. Plus, when you're going on your listing appointment and you have one of these with you, then it just makes you look like you're ready to do business. So let's talk about paperwork real quick. One of the forms that, if you were in a, yeah.
You may have it there, but you didn't mention it, but
Mhm.
I'll mention it because everyone will run into this.
Okay,
When the lock doesn't work well, and or you can't hardly get the key in and out. WD-40 for the lock itself, and graphite, just a powder graphite in where the key goes. And you just don't wanna get it all over the door, cause it looks bad, but that will fix the problem.
I don't even know what graphite is. What is it? It's just powder.
It's like a lubricant, but it's a powder.
Super slick.
Oh, I like that.
So you put them in your door hinges too.
Okay.
But you're gonna run into that other people's listings. The door was working fine last week, it's not working fine while you have a client. And they're looking at you, why can't you open this door? So it's a way to fix that.
Totally had that. I've had to come up, I've been in that situation. There's no doubt. I did survive. We did sell it. I do have one of these, I know it's silly, but I have one of these timers because if you're selling a vacant house and you put some furniture in there, having a little timer on the lamp is really good because then it looks like someone's there. Oh, and sometimes you can pick these up at different shows, but these are like something that would blink if your car is in trouble and you have a little, it blinks, right? So safety. I don't have a lot of safety things in here because,
You live on the wild side.
I live on the wild side, yeah, it's really Heather, no. No, I just feel like I can handle crazy things if they come my way. Here is a charger for your cell phone, so think about that too. Your cell phone, as it gets older, drains batteries faster. And you'll be glad you have one of these bags. Also, your clients sometimes are with you and they forget to charge their phone. You're looking like the winner on that one when you come up with a charger, and we've got some really great, charger, like. I have one that's got several different, it's got a C connector, it's got a USB connector, and it's got like an iPhone connector, so it can work for a lot of phones. All right, so at Christmas, if you came to the Christmas party, you got one of these, you know, kind of tackle boxes. And so I use mine for, all the things I do with kids. So I have all of these little tags, and I tag all my keys. I don't put the full address, I put a coded one, so I know what it is. But it's super helpful because sometimes you'll do 2 or 3 listings in a week and you're like, which key goes to which house? Oh no. When you get the listing, when you get that key, you've got your little tag coded, put it on there. And I don't know if you've seen it lately, but in the boxes, they just have a lonely key in there. Well, if you know, it can slip out of your hands can be freezing cold because the winter, and that key can drop. So I've had it drop between, this was in Eagle Rock, I had years ago, had a key drop on a deck that had too much spacing between, was not to code, there is no code in Eagle Rock. And and this is an open house, it was terrible, it was awful. I figured out a way to do it with some gum and string and yeah, that. But I went right to the Harbor Freight to get one of these things. And it reaches down, it's magnetic, and it reaches down and it can grab something, you know, and let's see if I can grab it. No, it's not working. But with something harder and metal might work better. Anyway, you just grab it like a key or a screw or something like that. That has been very, very handy.
I've had to take deck stuff to get down to a key.
Yes, and that was when I didn't have my drill gun with me. I have my drill gun in here. And my husband doesn't like to use it because it is pink. Thank you very much. A very dear friend of mine gave it to me. And I'm ready. I'm ready to take some deck boards up if I need to. There you go. All right. I know these are all funny, but it does help you to remind you, it is January, get ready for this year. Even if you don't use everything in your box, even if your box is a lot smaller, you'll be thanking your future self. Will thank you and say, hey, I'm glad you remembered that. Because it's really awesome feeling when you have that one thing that you were thinking ahead on that listing or for that buyer, and you have it in your car. You look really prepared and amazing. So the last thing I'm going to say is about the paperwork. So now we have to keep buyers exclusives with us. I do have some of those totally blank because I'm the one who always does an initial, so I have to go back and get it initial. So I just leave them blank now and then I fill them out when I'm right there with them. And then I've also got a sales contract and a listing contract just in case I'm just ready for whatever comes my way. One of the forms that I really like to use, and if you've taken my open house class, you'll know what it is, but it's the property data form. And so it is a really great snapshot of just walking through a house. Maybe it's your first, I don't know if you do one listing appointment or do 2, but if you've got your measuring and you've got your clipboard with this and you are walking through the house and they're telling you what the house is about and you're taking notes, you look super prepared. You look like you're listening, engaged in what concerns them, and you'll be a very active listener at that time. And then the property information form is great because once you get that listing, you've got it all right here. So whether you're a day 1 agent or you're building your team, this is a great little form. I keep it with all my authorizations to show and seller stuff. See, because that's another thing. If you're going to sell on market, that's great, but everyone will have an off-market sale at one time or another. Isn't that right, Jerry? you're gonna have off-market sales. And just like someone had said, you knock on their door, you call them, and if they wanna sell their property, well, if they do, and you already have that buyer that wants to buy it, you just have an authorization to show right there. It's coming very handy, because authorization to show is a little bit difficult for me on the Zoom call, to try to explain that is a lot easier in person. And then, of course, your business cards and Post-it notes. I keep some 3x5 cards with me as well. I think they're great for a quick note or something like that, and I can attach it right to the file. It's also very bright, so it doesn't get lost in my car. Oh, I just keep them on me. I use them in a lot of different ways. On MREC, you're supposed to have them. Deb likes to give one out and then have them initial and you keep one. I like the booklet format because if I have 3 appointments that day, I've got them all. And I keep the listing up. I was very bad. In 2024, earlier in the year, I was very bad at these listing cover sheets. Every time they'd correct somebody, it was me they were talking to. I said, I have to make a change. This is terrible. I can do this. So I just started doing this like at the front of a deal rather than at the end or maybe right before closing. So sorry, that was me, but I made a change this year. Hey, we all have to admit and just grow from it, but I've had an excellent year. So what I do is if I have several appointments and I have my paperwork, I just take the little booklet form of the MREC and kind of, hug the paperwork. That way I can just grab and go and I've got everything that I need prepared for that appointment. So that kind of just gives you a little bit of tidbits. Is there any questions? Okay, does anybody else have toolboxes in their car?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Speaking of tools. Your board of realtors received some requests for tools that they could use to make their job easier. And we looked into it, we looked for something that would be fair to everybody. Everyone could use, and we came up with FOREWARN. If you got an email this morning, or if you checked your emails this morning, there was a list of things that FOREWARN can do for you. One thing is it will check into a person's history, a background. So you can put a person's name in there, their phone number in there, and it'll tell you if they're on a list of people to watch out for. So FOREWARN, it can also send messages back to the office if you're in a critical situation. But please look up that email and research FOREWARN, because it's a free service that your board of realtors is providing to everyone.
Are they doing classes next year?
They have,
I think they sent out.
Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Okay, they have 4 classes. They're virtual.
Okay.
That you can look into that. Also, I was talking to a realtor today, and they said, I had about 10 houses that my clients wanted to see. She said, I looked at them, I picked the ones that were listed on showing time, and those are the ones that we went to see. A lot of you are not using showing time for your listing.
Broker Bay.
Or Broker Bay, showing time the old one. Broker Bay. If you're not using Broker Bay, you're really doing your client a disservice. Because it makes it so much easier to schedule listing, showing. 2 things that the board of realtors provides you need to use.
That's great. Then one more thing about technology, we could probably do a whole class on it. But there is a scanning app for free called TurboScan, and it is so helpful. If you've got a signed contract, you can scan it right on your phone, send it to where you need to send it to. And so make sure you're up with the technologies, that the KW app, so you can make your calls right off your phone, the scanning app, what else do I have? Yeah, I use a hunting app.
Do you have Mile IQ for your,
I have not, I did not
I'm
do.
starting to use the Mile IQ, so it's, you do like personal business, you keep swiping and it keeps taking tabs. You can change your car on it, depending on what car you're using.
Oh, for mileage.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
mileage, so Mile IQ seems to be.
Anybody else have a technology tip for everybody? Yes.
No, no, and that on Mile IQ is the only app that the tax people cannot say that is not accurate when they're looking at if you're being audited, because it tracks when you're in your car. And so we all make phone calls when we're in our cars, we're working in our cars, so it's.
Great, awesome. Well, thank you for listening, and I'm so glad you're getting prepared, and this is gonna be a great year. It's 25 and thrive, or thrive in 25. Goodbye.
Thanks for
The one thing I will say about forewarn is you guys, you said we're, a lot of times we get a phone call, we get excited. Somebody calls us and beat me in a house, you have no idea who they are.
Monica, where'd you go? We can't hear you.
I'm here. I didn't go anywhere.
Are you not underneath the camera?
Where do you want me? Is this better? I have people coming through the thing, it's like a scary thing. Anyway, on forewarn, we tend to get in the car, we get excited. We take off, we go to show a house, and we have no idea who these people are. So you wanna use that app. Deb had it for a while, and people would go in because she was in Arkansas, people would go in, say, pull this up for me. And it was determined that maybe that agent needed to take somebody with them. Okay, don't just show up by yourself on a 20-acre property that you gotta drive a mile down a gravel road to get to the house. Okay, so please be very careful. The other thing that I will say is if it has a basement, don't go in the basement. Let them go in the basement. So a lot of you have heard me say this before. Let them go first. I always told them I had basement phobia. You go ahead. Get your bright flashlight that she talks about so you can shine it down there. So I'm really big on safety. So I want to keep you all with us.
Yes.
I gotta keep you together on it. Okay, short and sweet. Thanks, guys.
Well, thank you.
Oh, thank you.